Hi, everyone. My name is Anna, and welcome back to my podcast for English learners. I'm really happy you are here today. Today, we start a new story, and the topic is at the airport. This is a very useful topic because many people travel by plane, go on holidays, visit other countries, or travel for work. So, let me tell you my story. It is early morning. My alarm clock rings at 5 o'clock. It is very early and I feel very sleepy. I open my eyes and think, why is it so early? But then I remember, today I am going to the airport. I am flying to another city. I sit up in bed slowly. For a few seconds, I just sit there and try to wake up. Then I say to myself, come on, Anna, you need to get up. I go to the bathroom, wash my face with cold water, and brush my teeth. The cold water helps me wake up faster. I look at myself in the mirror and think, okay, today is a big day. Then I go to my room and start packing my bag. I already packed most things last night, but I check everything again. I open my suitcase. Clothes, heavy check mark. Phone charger, heavy check mark. Passport, heavy check mark. Tickets, heavy check mark. Wallet, heavy check mark. Everything is there, but I still check one more time. Passport is the most important thing. I take it in my hands and say, don't forget this, Anna. Then I close my suitcase. After that, I go to the kitchen. I don't feel very hungry, but I know I need to eat something. I make a quick breakfast, toast and tea. I sit at the table and eat slowly. While I eat, I think about the airport. Will it be busy? I ask myself. Will I be late? Did I forget something? A little nervous feeling starts in my stomach, but also excitement. I like traveling. After breakfast, I put on my clothes. I choose comfortable clothes, jeans, a t-shirt, and a light jacket. I also take a small backpack for my documents and phone. I check everything again. Passport, heavy check mark. Ticket, heavy check mark. Phone, heavy check mark. Wallet, heavy check mark. Okay, I'm ready, I say. Then I take my suitcase and leave the house. Outside, it is still early morning. The air is fresh and a little cold. The streets are quiet. Most people are still sleeping. I call a taxi. While I wait, I stand outside and look around. It is calm and quiet. A few minutes later, the taxi arrives.
Good morning, the driver says.
Good morning, I answer. I put my suitcase in the car and sit inside. The car starts moving. On the way to the airport, I look out the window. The city is waking up slowly. I see shops opening, buses moving, and people going to work. I feel a mix of emotions, a little nervous, but also happy. I love the feeling of going somewhere new. The driver is quiet and I like that. I can think. I check my phone again. Time, flight details, everything is correct. Please don't be late, I think. After about 30 minutes, we arrive. And then I see it, the airport building. It is big, modern, and busy. There are many cars, buses, and people with suitcases. I take a deep breath and say, okay, here we go. I get out of the taxi, take my suitcase, and walk toward the entrance. Inside, everything is just beginning. So I walk inside the airport building. The first thing I notice is how big it is. There are high ceilings, many lights, and a lot of people everywhere. Some people are sitting, some are walking fast, and some are standing in lines. It is a little noisy, but not stressful. I hear announcements, rolling suitcases, and people talking in different languages. I stop for a moment and look around. Then I see the big screen with flights. I walk closer and try to find my flight. Where is it?
I think.
Finally, I see it. My flight is on time. That is good news. I feel a little more relaxed. Now I need to check in. I follow the signs that say check in and walk to the correct area. There are many counters with long lines. I choose one line and wait. While I wait, I look around.
People look busy.
Some are tired, some are excited, and some look like they are in a hurry. After a few minutes, it is my turn. Hello, the woman at the counter says. Hello, I answer. She asks for my passport and ticket. I give them to her. She types something on the computer and checks my details. Where are you flying today? She asks. To Berlin, I say. She smiles and nods. Okay, your baggage is fine. Please put your suitcase on the scale. I lift my suitcase and put it on the belt. It moves slowly forward. I watch carefully. Everything is okay, she says. Here is your boarding pass. She gives me a small paper. Now I feel more real. I am really going to fly. Thank you, I say. Have a nice flight, she answers. I take my boarding pass and passport and put them safely in my bag. Now I have finished check-in, but I am not done yet. I still need to go through security. I walk toward the security area. The signs say, security check. I take a deep breath. Okay, next step, I think. So I arrive at the security control area. I see many signs, many lines, and many people. Some are taking off jackets, some are putting bags on trays, and some look a little stressed. I take a deep breath and think, okay, Anna, just follow the rules. It's simple. I join a line and wait. While I wait, I watch other people. Everyone moves step by step. First passport check, then security scan, then luggage check. Everything is very organized, but also very strict. After a few minutes, it is my turn. A security officer says, "Next, please." I walk forward and show my boarding pass and passport. "Thank you," he says. "Now, I need to put my things into trays." I take off my jacket, take out my phone, my wallet, and my small bag. I also remove my belt. I put everything carefully into plastic trays. I look at my suitcase and place it on the conveyor belt. Then I walk through the scanner. For a moment, I feel a little nervous. I think, what if something is wrong? But everything is fine. The machine makes no sound. Okay, you can go, the officer says. I feel relieved. I smile a little. Now I go to the other side and wait for my things. My tray comes first. I take my phone, wallet, and jacket. Then my suitcase comes out of the scanner. Everything is okay. I quickly put my things back into my bag. I dress again, put on my jacket, and take my suitcase. Perfect, I think. That was easy. Now I am inside the airport's departure area. It is much more relaxed here. There are shops, cafes, and places to sit. People are drinking coffee, eating snacks, or waiting quietly. I check the big screen again. My gate number is shown. Gate 12. I read. Okay, I still have time, I say to myself. So I decide to walk slowly and explore a little. I see a coffee shop. I stop for a moment. Maybe I should get coffee, I think. I go inside. There are many people waiting in line, but it moves fast. I order a small coffee. Just black coffee, please, I say. The barista nods and prepares it quickly. I take my coffee, find a seat near the window, and sit down. From here, I can see airplanes outside. Some are landing, some are taking off. It looks amazing. I take a sip of coffee and relax. Now I feel calm, but I know my flight is coming soon. I check my boarding pass again. Gate 12, boarding in 20 minutes. Okay, I think. Soon it starts. I finish my coffee, stand up, and take my suitcase. Now it is time to go to the gate. So I leave the coffee area and walk toward my gate. I follow the signs. Gate 12. The airport is still busy, but now I feel more relaxed. I already passed security, so the hardest part is done. While I walk, I see many shops, duty-free stores, perfume shops, snack shops, and small restaurants. Some people are shopping, some are sitting and waiting, and some are already going to their gates. I look at the time on my phone. Okay, I still have a little time, I think, but I don't want to be late, so I walk at a normal speed. Finally, I see it. Gate 12. I smile a little. Here we are. There are already many people sitting near the gate. Some are sleeping, some are reading books, and some are watching videos on their phones. A few people are standing in line. I find a free seat and sit down. I put my suitcase next to me. Then I take out my boarding pass and check it again. Everything is correct. I look at the screen above the gate. It says, "Flight to Berlin. Boarding in 15 minutes. Good," I say quietly. I relax for a moment and just watch people. I like observing airports. Everyone has a story. Some people look excited, some look tired, some look nervous. Then I hear an announcement. "Passengers for flight to Berlin, please prepare for boarding." I take a deep breath. Okay, it's starting, I think. People begin to stand up and form a line. I also stand up and join the queue. I feel a little excited now. My heart beats a little faster. Not because I am scared, but because I like the moment before flying. The line moves slowly. Step by step, I get closer to the gate. Finally, it is my turn. The staff checks my boarding pass and passport. "Thank you. Have a nice flight," the man says. "Thank you," I answer with a smile. Then I walk through the gate. Now I am going to the airplane. I walk through a long corridor. The walls are white and the floor is clean. I hear the sound of rolling suitcases and quiet footsteps. And then I see it, the airplane. It looks big and impressive. I stop for a second and think, wow, I'm really going to fly. A staff member welcomes passengers at the door. "Good evening," she says. "Good evening," I answer. I step inside the plane. Now everything feels different, smaller, quieter, and more focused. I look for my seat. So I find my seat. I look at the number on my ticket and compare it with the seat above. Yes, this is it. I put my suitcase in the overhead compartment. It is a little heavy, so I try carefully. Another passenger helps me a little, and I say, "Thank you." Then I sit down. I put my bag under the seat in front of me. I adjust my seatbelt and look around. The plane is not full yet, but many people are already sitting. Some are putting bags away, some are reading safety instructions, and some are just waiting quietly. A flight attendant walks through the aisle and smiles.
"Hello," she says.
"Hello," I answer. I feel a little nervous again, but also excited. I like flying, but takeoff is always a special moment. The safety instructions start. We all listen, but many people already know them. The flight attendants show how to use the seatbelt, oxygen mask, and exits. I watch carefully, anyway. It is important. Then the captain speaks. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. He talks about the flight time and weather. He says everything is fine. I relax a little. Now I look out the window. It is already a bit dark outside. I can see airport lights and other airplanes. Then I feel the plane start moving slowly. We are taxiing to the runway. I think. The plane turns, moves, and stops for a moment. Now everything becomes quiet for a second. I take a deep breath. Okay, this is it. Then the engines get louder. The plane starts to move faster. I feel pressure in my body as we go forward. We're taking off. The plane goes faster and faster, and then suddenly I feel it. We are in the air. I look out the window. The ground becomes smaller and smaller. Cars look like tiny lights. The airport looks like a toy model. It is beautiful. I smile. I love this part, I think. After a few minutes, the plane becomes stable. The seatbelt sign turns off. Ladies and gentlemen, you may now use electronic devices, the captain says. I take out my phone and relax. A flight attendant comes with drinks. Would you like something to drink? She asks. Yes, water, please, I say. I drink water and look out the window again. Now we are high above the clouds. Everything is quiet and calm. I feel peaceful. I think about the trip ahead, new places, new people, new experiences. But for now, I just sit and enjoy the flight. So we are flying high in the sky. Everything is calm. I look out of the window and see clouds below me. It looks like soft white cotton. It is very beautiful and quiet. After some time, the flight feels longer and slower. I drink some water, listen to music, and sometimes just close my eyes. I feel relaxed. Then I hear the captain's voice again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are starting our descent. I understand we're going to land soon. I look out of the window again. The clouds start to disappear, and I can see the ground slowly coming closer. Cities, roads, and lights become clearer and clearer. I feel a small pressure in my ears. It is normal when the plane goes down. The flight attendants walk through the aisle again. Please make sure your seatbelt is fastened, they say. I put my seatbelt on and sit straight. Now I feel a little excited again. Landing is always interesting. The plane gets lower and lower. I see the runway. It is long and straight, and the lights are bright. The plane gets closer, closer, and then we touch the ground. A small shake, and we are on the runway. Welcome to Berlin, I think. The plane slows down. I feel the engines getting quieter. Everyone stays seated until the plane stops completely. Finally, the plane stops. The seatbelt sign turns off. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Berlin, the captain says. People start to stand up, take their bags, and get ready to leave. I open the overhead compartment and carefully take my suitcase. Then I take my bag from under the seat. I wait a little because the aisle is busy. Then I slowly walk forward with other passengers. Thank you, I say to the flight attendant when I pass her. Thank you, have a nice day, she answers. I walk out of the plane and enter the airport building again. It is different here, new country, new airport, new feeling. I follow the signs to passport control. There is a line again, but it moves quickly. At passport control, the officer checks my passport. Why are you visiting? He asks. For a short trip, I say.
He nods and stamps my passport.
Enjoy your stay, he says. Thank you, I answer. Now I go to collect my luggage. I walk to the baggage claim area. I look at the screens and find my flight number. I wait near the belt. Then I see it. My suitcase. I smile and take it. Finally, I think. Now I am ready to leave the airport. I walk outside and take a deep breath of fresh air. Taxis, buses, and people are everywhere. It is a new city, and everything feels exciting. I find a taxi and get in. Hello, I say. Hello, where to? The driver asks. I tell him the address. And as we drive away, I look out the window and think. A new adventure begins. So, this was my story about at the airport. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you learn new English words and feel more confident now. See you next time. Bye.
Leave a comment under this video and one of you will get 40 English lessons for free.